that's really normal, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't happen until you get to a point. I mean, it happens when it happens for whatever reason, right? And at this point, I think it's important to remember that you could spend another 30 years shaming yourself about the fact that it took you 30 years to recognize it. Or, like you said, you can just start the journey of unpacking it all and processing it all and getting help and figuring it all out. Because like you said, I mean, you have awareness that it is this thing, right? You're not still operating under information that is old and outdated.
Yeah. And also the, that I can do it myself. I've been doing it myself successfully and unsuccessfully, you know?
That's the hard part.
Do it myself because I
think
can't
that's the
beat
part
it, yeah.
that everybody needs to really hear.
Yeah.
Is I don't think it, whether it's an eating disorder, whether it's, all these other, when I say addictions, I'm looking at addictions through a lens now of maladaptive coping mechanisms, right? I don't remember, I think it was Natalie Deering that was on the podcast, and she said that all addictions are a way for us to get a need met.
Yeah.
Right? I completely butchered that, but you remember that moment, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at everything that I do that I would classify as that maladaptive coping mechanism, unhealthy coping mechanism, addictive behavior, as what is the need underneath it all that I was trying to meet, and how can I learn to meet that need now? Like you said, with all the coping skills that you have now, all the tools that you have now, all the help that you have now.
Yeah.
I think that's the goal.
Yeah. Well, it's where I am. And I think if I'm being honest, and I'm being brutally honest, and I really don't want to be, because it just came to me like this aha moment, but I'm going to fucking say it, is not seeking help for it, focusing on, like, I've had enough to focus on, right? It's not like I mean,
Yeah,
let me fill this short. Like,
your plate overfloweth.
I've got plenty of traumas to heal. I've got plenty of things. So it's not like I was just sitting here being like, oh, whatever. I guess, I've had plenty of. It's okay that I didn't do everything at once. I couldn't do everything at once.
Exactly.
Nobody can do everything at once.
Exactly.
You can't heal everything all at once. In fact, you can't heal everything in one lifetime.
Yes.
So the fact that this has been, and then the ugly truth is, I don't, like, I wanted to have control over it. I wanted it to be my choice. And if I reached out, if I got help, if I got serious about it, if I started talking about it, then I had to let it go. And I don't think I was really ready to not have this to help me. Now I'm ready. Like, okay, it's time. I'm ready to not have this anymore. I'm ready to have help. I'm ready to talk about it, and I'm ready to let it go. And I'm scared. I got it. I know I do. But I'm scared. So.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. That part of not wanting to let it go, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that there's a part in some of our darkest moments, like I'll speak just about my own experience. There's times when I'm in just those really dark, chaotic, shame-filled moments, especially when they're connected to these really shitty coping mechanisms, right? Because I got them. I got them. We'll probably now do an episode about what Craig's are, right? I'm on that food train with you in a different way, obviously, right? But when I'm in the really dark places with it, I don't want to let it go. It feels like the thing that is keeping me alive almost. Like and that's the truth of it, I think, too, right? That's the coping mechanism part of it, where I figured out a way from a very early age of how to survive. And if I let this thing go, then I might not survive. So I think it makes sense that is what it would feel like, where I have to hold on to this thing because, and it's interesting too, because at least from my experience, or speaking from my perspective, I there's times where like I genuinely don't want to let it go. Does that make sense? I mean, we can almost equate it to smoking. I know that completely different neurologically, all sorts of different things, right? But an addiction and a coping mechanism, all those kind of things, right? Obviously, I didn't want to let smoking go. I didn't want to. I fucking loved it.
Right.
I still love it. I still feel like I can feel it.
Yeah.
I wish that we could fucking smoke on this podcast, right? Just turn this fucking little studio into a little fucking, it'd be so fucking fun to sit here and smoke. And I have to. And we make better decisions and we get to a point where we're ready to. And for whatever reason, you're at a phase in your life where it's time for this thing that you have been carrying. And I don't even want to say dealing with. Like sometimes I think that we get into, you know, addictions and coping mechanisms as this like push-pull dynamic where it's like a love-hate relationship with a part of ourselves. And what I think and what I'm continually trying to do is I see that version of me that started down the path of what now this maladaptive thing looks like. And I hate the way that it looks now in my life, but I don't hate the part that started it.
That's good.
Right. The little version of me that first used whatever, right? I don't want to talk a lot about my shit right now, so it's hard for me to like articulate this dynamic.
You just said something so healing for me to hear though too, is like, I hate how it's showing up now. I hate the journey that like all the pain that it's caused.
Because it's maladaptive, right? It's like a thing that has just put on all, it's like become this big, huge, ugly thing that you've had to bear the weight of. That part you hate. And that part you can learn to set down and move away from. But take all of that off, and then you've got where it started. Right?
Yeah.
And that part you don't hate.
No.
That part's, you're not ashamed of that part.
No.
That part doesn't need to be hidden or kept secret.
I'm not ready to face her yet though.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to, like, I don't know how to hold that pain yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not ready for that parts work session.
Right.
I don't know how to, even though like I'm an adult, I've got this, all the things that going into it. I know that I'm not ready yet. I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm coming to get you.
Right.
But I need to get some more tools and support first because I don't know how to do it yet. But I'm fucking coming.
Yeah. And I have no doubt that you will. I have no doubt at all. Like I've seen you heal, Stephanie, over and over and over and over and over again. Like every single time you get back up and you keep going, no matter what it is. I mean, I think that's your like MO. Everything that you've ever had to experience and go through, you've not only gotten through, but look at the life that you've created for yourself. Look at the, you know, the existence that you have today and the world that you're living in today and the environment and the home and the relationship and the literally just your life is so much. It's beautiful. And you did that because you were strong enough to go through all of these things.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that I don't hate the part of me that started this.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
I hope you talk more about that.
I will. I mean, like I said, you've continually, you told me the other day too that I don't remember how you phrased it, but you know, I think you said that I inspire you. And I mean, that's a hard thing to hear.
No.
Because I think you're probably similar, right? I hear those words through all the reasons why I'm not an inspiration. Right? What am I inspiring? And
if you really knew me, you would feel this way about me.
Exactly.
That whole narrative.
But you really know me.
I do.
You know who I am. You know my demons. You know my dark secrets. You know the things that, you know my maladaptive coping mechanisms.
We were meant to be. We were meant to be.